Welcome to Satzern. For the 8th round of the AF1 Championship here in 2021, we're here at this 12-turn, 4.2-mile track for a 46-lap race tomorrow. But first, we have practice and qualifying highlights to come. We have a long DRS zone on the front straight, one of the longest straights of the season, the only DRS zone on this racetrack. Sector 1 is very similar to that of Stetzer, but rather large, much faster as well. Sector 2 is flat-out S's, incredibly difficult on the car, high tire wear at this racetrack. The final sector is one of the most challenging sectors of the entire season, with the high levels of elevation at this track and the bank final corner being very difficult to find the apex of the turn and the right line through it, and the speed trap at the end of the front straight being the only speed trap on the track. Before qualifying though, we had a crash for Charles Leclerc in practice, heading head on into the wall out of turn 3, a disastrous crash for Charles Leclerc, and hit the wall in the exit of 4 in the left-hand kink. Would hit the barriers head on with his Ferrari, destroying the car. Thankfully, obviously, he would get the car fixed before even P3 the next day. Q1, George Russell would impress, getting into Q2 once again, and Valtteri Bottas would go fastest. Q2 would be very similar, as Gasly would perform very well, and fastest was Max Verstappen. In Q3, though, Valtteri Bottas would slap the wall hard at the final corner. Car getting loose on the exit of the corner, the bank turn, very difficult to avoid an instant if you make a mistake at that corner, because the wall is right there to bite you if you make a mistake. But it was Max Verstappen on pole position. Valtteri Bottas was good enough for second already with his lap from earlier in the session. That lap obviously was aborted in the very last seconds of his lap. A great lap though from Verstappen, very fun to watch, with really well done final sector. The final sector was the one most important on the racetrack just because of how challenging it is. Here are your qualifying results. Here it says Max Verstappen and Valtteri Bottas on the front row of the grid here for the Satzern Grand Prix tomorrow. Lewis Hamilton in third place, Sergio Perez in fourth, so Red Bull, Mercedes, Red Bull on the first two rows. Gasly with a great performance in fifth with Alonso just behind. Ferrari fourth row lockout with seventh and eighth with Leclerc and Sainz respectively. Ocon and Norris round out the top 10. Disappointment from McLaren as both their cars would be outside the top 5 and even outside the top 8. Yuki Tsunoda with Sebastian Vettel just ahead of him in 11th. Russell in 13th, a good performance from him. Ricciardo in 14th, disappointing for him. Giovinazzi and Stroll, followed by Latifi and Raikkonen from 15th down to 18th. And rounding up the field is Mick Schumacher and Nikita Mazepin once again. You're watching Alston Asia AF1 2021 Round 8 Practice and Qualifying highlights, and I hope you enjoy.